Hottoys' Iron Patriot may just be the most fun and vibrant figure I have added to my collection recently. I actually picked mine up at Toys Assemble. I'll pop a link in the description for anyone who's interested, but I suggest you act fast because it is a Hot Toys exclusive. The box is gorgeous. I love how Hot Toys does their die-cast Iron Man boxes. It has a blue and red techie motif going all across it, but let's get the figure out here. Like all of Hot Toys Iron Man figures, it's encased in that styrofoam packaging, but getting the figure out here, the first thing I notice is the color. This figure just looks super vibrant, and you do get a lot of accessories, so let's just move everything to the detolf and take a closer look. Here's all of the figure's accessories, and you get a decent amount of stuff. You get a couple swap out hands like these hands with articulated fingers, which is always a nice addition. You also get repulsor firing hands and normal fists that are just installed on the figure right now. You do get a decent amount of swap out parts like these missile pieces that go on his traps and these wrist rocket pieces that go on his forearms that are all attached via magnets. By far my favorite swap out piece is the star chest piece. We're gonna take a look at these on the figure later. Of course you get Captain America's shield, and this thing looks awesome. It has such a nice finish, and it does attach via magnets as well, which makes posing super convenient. You guys know I love when Hot Toys does this. It's a diorama display base based on an arc reactor with the Iron Patriot theme all throughout. This thing looks awesome and is so much better than those plain hexagonal or just normal standard display bases. Now that we covered all the accessories, let's get the actual figure out here, and damn, this thing pops. I just really love the design. I think it's such a cool translation from the comics, and it looks great in figure form. The helmet's also really one-to-one with the comics. I love the shape of it here, and while we're on the topic of the comics, I love to do this Willem Dafoe head swap because in the comics, Norman Osborn is Iron Patriot. If you're like me and you keep your Green Goblin masked in the display, then this is a good excuse to use the Willem Dafoe Norman Osborn sculpt. Getting back to the actual figure, the traps are where these magnetic pieces come into play, where you could swap it out for the missile pieces. It's super easy to do and looks great if you want him in a more battle ready look. Moving back to the figure's chest, you do get the option to display this blue piece, and while it's not bad, it's just too traditional for this design and it's not comic accurate, so I like to display it with the star arc reactor piece. I think it looks really well. It just makes the colors flow nicer as you can go from the red to the blue and then the stripes of the American flag going down his body. The arms have a nice color flow, starting off blue and then transitioning into the red elbows and forearms. This is also the place where you swap out the forearm pieces for the wrist rockets, and I think they look great. It's super nicely painted for how tiny and detailed it is, and you can even attach it on the other arm as well. While the wrist rockets look great, I definitely prefer to use Captain America's shield on this figure's arm. Like I mentioned before, it's attached with magnets, so it's super easy to attach on and off. Moving on to the figure's legs, it has the same design elements as the arms, starting off blue and silver and transitioning to red and silver, and it looks awesome here. And in my opinion, the best design feature is on the back, and that's America's ass. It's time to see if the figure poses well, and of course, it's a Hot Toys Iron Man figure, so the engineering is crazy and allows for some great mobility. The arms come out further than 90 degrees and can do a full 360 rotation. You do get a nice bicep swivel and a double bend at the elbows that almost makes it to 180. What's strange to me is the mobility on the torso. You really can't get that much of an arch or crunch, which is kind of disappointing, but the legs more than make up for that. They spread and kick really far, and the knees have a great bend. You can also get the ankles into a great pivot, which is perfect for battle-ready stances, and there's also a toe joint. Overall, this figure honestly blew me away. I did not expect much from an Iron Patriot figure, but the design is so creative and so cool and is ripped straight from the comics. I just absolutely love the vibrancy and colors on this. Like I mentioned before, it is exclusive, so if you're interested, hurry up and grab it at Toys Assemble before it sells out. And thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe.